Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good week so far. Hopefully the time on Monday was good for most of you to get things caught up, get any missing assignments that you currently had done, get any low grades brought up. I'll do my best to get everything updated as we go through this week. For today's assignment, we are going to start looking at linear inequality word problems. These are just going to be like the systems of equations that we had. The only difference is now we're going to be using an inequality symbol, and when we graph it in Desmos, you're going to see it's going to give us kind of a shaded region rather than just a line. So we're going to look at two problems together, and then I'm going to have three problems for you to do on your own in Edulastic. I know that a lot of you are getting tired on the Edulastic, so I'm trying to scale back on that a little bit. That's why Monday was a work day. Yesterday was just Khan Academy. Hopefully you didn't have any problems with that. If so, just reach out to me, email me, let me know, and we'll make sure we get that taken care of. There will also be another video conference today at 11 to 11:30. I'm trying to do that every Wednesday. So if you have any questions, just log into that and we'll make sure we get them taken care of. But without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the material from today. So if we look at the first word problem we got here, Paul can walk a total of no more than 10 hours each week. So first thing I see, no more than 10 hours. So I'm going to highlight that because that's pretty important. We got to think about what that means. So no more than. If we think about that, can he walk 9 hours or 11 hours? So no more than means it's going to be, less than 10 or less than or equal to 10. Each week of his two jobs. House cleaning pays $5 per hour. So we know that whenever we see each, every, per, that's important. That's going to be a variable. And his sales job pays $8 per hour. Again, each, every, per tells us that's going to be a variable again. He needs to earn at least $56 each week. So again, this is all about context. When we're talking about at least $56, we want to think about, can he make more than 56 or can he make less than 56? Well, since we're talking money that you're making from your job, usually you're going to want to make as much as possible. So again, we're going to write a system of inequalities that shows the various numbers of hours you can work at each job. So again, if we look at our four values, we can see that we've got money, money, and money. So just like when we did systems of equations, we want to keep these units together to form one equation. That leaves us kind of this odd man out, this 10 hours. So hopefully you can kind of remember how we did that in the past. If not, like I said, we're going to go through this together here in just a second. So to define the variables, well, we know that our variables are always going to be x or y. And in this case, typically it's going to be whatever our each, every, per statements are. So for this, x is going to be the number of hours, house cleaning. And then y is going to be the number of hours at the sales job. Okay? So pretty quick, pretty easy. Now, to determine our inequalities. So this is one thing that you gotta have to be kind of careful on, because we have to think about less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, and which ways those signs are going to be. So I'm going to start with the easy one first. $5 per hour. So I know it's going to be my 5x. Oh, let me change that. So it's going to be 5x plus 8y. Because we're trying to combine a total of hours at his first job and hours at his second job. And this should say work, not walk. Why would you walk? He needs to earn at least $56 each week. So for this one, I know that this is going to be greater than or equal to 56. Now, because I'm in a Google Doc, and Google Doc doesn't do that very well, I'm actually going to use one of their add-ons that they have called MathType. So I'm going to use that to enter in the equation. So here we have 5x plus 8y, just like we saw a second ago. But this time I want to make sure that I'm using my inequality symbol here. So it's going to be greater than or equal to 56. Because we want to be making more than $56. So there's that one. Now, the last thing if you think about is that we've got just that single number 10. We know nothing else about it. because we know nothing else about it, this is going to be our x plus y. X plus y. Now again, because it's no more than, we want this to be less than or equal to 10. Well, again, I can't really type something in Google that way very easily, so I'm going to come back up to my math type. X plus y is less than or equal to 10. Without a doubt, writing these equations is going to be the hardest thing. One thing you kind of have to think about, does your answer make sense? Because we're talking about real world problems, hopefully this can kind of give you some idea as to, as you're typing things in, does it make sense for whatever your answers are? So we look at part C. Part C says graph to find the solution set and state one possible solution. There are going to be many possible answers. Since these are inequalities, these are going to be shaded regions. Okay, so I'm going to come up to Desmos, and I'm going to enter in our two equations. Our first equation was 5x plus 8y, and we know that with Desmos down here in our keyboard, we can see our symbols. So greater than or equal to 56, and we can see over here I've got this kind of reddish pink shaded region, because any solution set above here, if I plug in the x and the y, is going to give me a number bigger than 56. But I have my second condition. X plus y has to be less than or equal to 10, which gives me kind of this blue region here. So let me zoom out and so we can take a look here. So if we notice, we have kind of this purple region right here. This purple region right here is going to be our solution set. Anything in this purple region could be a possible solution. What I mean by could be a possible solution, notice that it carries over here into the negative numbers. He's not going to be working negative hours, so none of those are really going to make sense. So I only really want to focus on this part right here, where all of my numbers are positive. Any possible combination of numbers that you see here is going to be a possible solution. I could pick this as a possible solution. He could work, that's the coordinate 2, 7. So this is going to be in my region. I could look at 3, 6. Any value that we find that's going to be in this region would work. And one thing to notice too is you see this one right here, he could strictly work 8 hours at his sales job, and that would also be a possible region, because working 0 hours at your house cleaning and 8 hours at your sales job is in our feasible region. Now that might get you fired from your house cleaning job, but it falls within our range. So any of these would be possible answers that we need. Now we only need one of them. Since 2, 7 was the first one that I saw, and 2, 7's in this purple region, that's the one that I'm going to pick for my answer. But like I said, I just showed you 3 possible ones that would work. Okay? So that first one is done. If we take a look at the second one, the second one's going to be a little bit trickier, just because, again, it's going to give us 4 pieces of information, but we have to be careful on what information it's giving us. So Kate is buying plants and soil for her garden. The soil costs $4 per bag, each every per. We like those buzzwords. And the plants cost $10 each every per. Again, love those buzzwords. She wants to buy at least 5 plants. And she cannot spend more than $100. We want to write and graph a system of linear inequalities that model all possible combinations of the flowers and soil. So the thing to notice, though, is this says at least 5 plants, and this also talks about plants. So we're going to see in a second how that comes into play. Again, we're going to define our variables. So the first thing is I'm looking for soil. So X is going to be my bag of soil. Y is going to be the number of plants. Okay. Determine our inequalities. So we're going to start with that first one. Money, money, money. 4x plus 10y. Now, cannot spend more than 100. So we want this to be less than or equal to 100. So let me do my math type. 4x plus 10y. Now, she cannot spend more than $100, so it's less than or equal to 100. Okay, now, this next part, this is where it gets really, really tricky. So because I know she wants to buy at least 5 plants. Well, 5 plants is my y. So I know that for this one, my y value, my number of plants, has to be greater than 5. If we look at the previous one, this was a combination of his 2 jobs. All right, so it said the 2 jobs is what he could do no more than 10 hours of. This second part tells me nothing about the soil. This strictly tells me about the plants. So for our second equation, this one's going to be what makes these hard. Okay, you have to be able to think this through. For this one, she wants to buy at least 5 plants. So she wants her number of plants to be greater than or equal to 5. That's it. That's all we have for this equation. Okay? So, again, like I said, you really, really have to be careful on what we're buying and what we're selling here. So, like I said, you've got to make sure your answers make sense. So let's go ahead and come back to Desmos. 4x plus 10y is going to be less than or equal to 100. 4x plus 10y is less than or equal to 100. And there we see the red line. But I also know that the number of plants she wants has to be greater than or equal to 5. All right. So again, we should always get some type of an overlap region. Again, here I've got this big purple region. Anything inside this purple region will work. Every point is going to be greater than 5 plants. And we can figure out how much soil we need to make sure that we're going to stay under $100. So this red line represents our under $100. This blue line is going to be more than 5 plants. So this little triangle shape is going to be everything that's going to be less than $100 while buying more than 5 plants. Again, I can pick any point inside of here that we want. I'm going to pick this point right here. This point right here, it looks like is going to be 6, 6. So I type it in Desmos just to make sure it works, and it does. Like I said, there are lots of possible combinations. I could type in 2, 7. Because it's saying that she's going to buy 2 bags of soil and 7 plants. 6 bags of soil and 6 plants. So anything inside here is going to work. So I'm going to come back here, and the first answer I chose was 6, 6. And we're done. Okay. Head on over to Edge Elastic. There are 3 questions that are going to work just like this. If you have any questions, like I said, Wednesday, 11 o'clock, we're going to have another virtual class. Email me. Let me find out. Stay on top of things. Don't fall behind. And enjoy your 3-day weekend. See y'all.